They said fame was a dream. But no one ever mentioned that dreams could break you quietly. Under the spotlight, Yongyut always smiled first. Behind him, Oat Pasakorn carried the rhythm, the laughter, the teasing, the easy charm that fans adored. Together they looked like two stars orbiting each other, bright enough to blind the truth between them. But truth never dies. It only waits. In those endless rehearsal halls and quiet midnight drives, something deeper began to form, a connection so real it terrified them both. The studio clock hit 2 a.m. The air smelled like stale coffee and exhaustion. Both sat against the wall, script pages scattered beside him, his hands trembling slightly. "You okay?" Oat asked, crouching down. Boat forced a smile. "Just tired." But Oat could read the tiny tremor in his voice. He always could. Fame had taught them to lie with grace, to say "I'm fine" when they were shattering inside. For Boat, the pressure of being perfect was suffocating. He had spent years building a version of himself that could survive public eyes, charming, polite, untouchable. But each compliment felt like another chain around his real heart. Oat saw that, and slowly, without meaning to, he began to care too much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more touching K-drama stories and emotional news-style narratives. Their first real moment came after a fan meeting in Chiang Mai. The crowd had screamed, gifts had piled up, flashes had burned their eyes. When it was over, they escaped to the quiet of an empty street. Rain fell gently, soft and uncertain. Boat stopped walking. "Do you ever feel tired of being someone else?" Oat looked at him, not as the cameras did, but as a man looking at someone who needed saving. He reached out, brushing away a raindrop from Boat's cheek that wasn't rain at all. "I feel it every day," he said. "But then you laugh and I forget." It was a confession disguised as comfort. Neither spoke after that. They didn't need to. The silence was warm enough. For months, their world existed in whispers. Long glances during interviews, midnight phone calls where neither said "I love you," but both heard it anyway. They learned to live between lines. A pat on the shoulder that lingered 1 second too long. A shared joke that held more meaning than words. Messages deleted before dawn. But love that hides too long becomes a wound. When Boat's career soared, so did the expectations. Magazine covers, brand deals, constant scrutiny. Everyone wanted a piece of him. The industry polished him until no trace of his real self remained. Oat noticed the light in Boat's eyes dimming. "You don't talk to me anymore," Oat said one night. "If I do, they'll notice," Boat replied quietly. "They always notice." That was when depression began to creep in, silent, invisible, wearing the mask of exhaustion. One winter morning, Boat didn't show up on set. His manager said he was sick. In truth, he hadn't left his apartment in days. Oat arrived uninvited, knocking until the door opened. The smell of stale air hit him first. Boat was sitting by the window, staring at nothing. "You came," Boat said softly. "You didn't answer your phone," Oat replied. "You scared me." Boat's voice cracked. "I'm just tired, Oat. Tired of pretending, tired of hiding, tired of being everything except myself." Oat knelt beside him, voice shaking. "Then don't. You can break with me. I'll still be here." For the first time, Boat cried, not from sadness, but from relief. And in that moment, Oat realized love wasn't about being seen. It was about seeing. After that day, they built a small, hidden world together. Late-night dinners with curtains closed. Messages that began with "don't reply." Shared playlists, photographs tucked behind mirrors. There was laughter again, real laughter, the kind that comes from knowing someone finally understands. But the world outside didn't stop spinning. Rumors began to resurface. Fans speculated. A tabloid headline nearly exposed them. The agency called it a PR risk. Boat's anxiety returned. Every message became a threat, every smile a shield. "Maybe it's better if we step back," Boat whispered one night. "You mean end it?" "No," Boat said, eyes wet. "Just survive it differently." Oat didn't argue. Sometimes Love meant letting go before the world forced you to. Weeks turned into months. They met less, spoke less. But every song Oat released seemed to echo Boat's name, and every interview Boat gave carried a trace of Oat's laughter and his smile. When depression returned, Boat didn't hide it this time. He spoke openly in one interview about dark days that come without knocking. The honesty shocked fans, but it saved others who listened. Behind that courage was Oat's voice message, never made public. You don't have to be strong for me. Just be real. That's enough. It was their love, redefined, not physical, not visible, but alive in every word they never said. A year later, Oat was offered a major overseas project. The night before he left, they met at the same rooftop where their story began. The city below was loud, their silence louder. You should go, Boat said. And you? I'll stay. I have to learn how to live again, without hiding. Oat nodded, eyes glistening. Then I'll wait. Not for you to come back, but for you to heal. They hugged, no fireworks, no dramatic music, just two people holding everything they couldn't say. When they pulled apart, Boat smiled. The same smile that once lit entire rooms, now softer, freer. You saved me, Oat. Then that's enough, Oat whispered. That's love, isn't it? Time did what time always does. It blurred the edges. Boat began speaking at mental health panels, turning his pain into purpose. Oat's music took a deeper tone, every lyric carrying traces of what once was. They never denied each other, but they never confirmed anything either. The world moved on, yet in quiet ways, they still remained connected. A like on a photo, a birthday message seen but unreplied. And sometimes, when Oat performed live, he'd pause before the final chorus, eyes scanning the crowd as if searching for someone unseen. Boat found peace not in forgetting, but in forgiving himself, for being human, for breaking, for loving in secret. In one documentary years later, he was asked what love meant to him. He smiled thoughtfully. Love is the person who sat beside me when I couldn't face the mirror. Fans didn't realize he was talking about Oat, but he didn't need them to. Some stories are sacred. Oat, in another interview, was asked about his favorite lyric. He quoted softly, "Sometimes love isn't about staying. It's about who held you while you healed." The reporter didn't connect the dots, but we did. On a quiet evening years later, they crossed paths at an awards show. The cameras didn't notice. Everyone was too busy celebrating the winners. Boat looked stronger, calmer. Oat's eyes softened when he saw him. They exchanged a simple nod. No words, no pain, just quiet understanding. Because sometimes closure doesn't come in grand gestures. It comes in peace. The peace of knowing that even if love didn't last forever, it mattered. When the lights fade and applause dies, what remains are the hearts that once found each other, even if only for a moment. And maybe that's the truest kind of forever. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more touching K-drama stories and emotional news-style narratives.